Okay, folks, hope you're all doing well. Probably be filming this in a couple different segments, and we'll upload them as fast as we can, which you know is not very fast. Most folks are, again, on very sporadic ends of this course, and I really wish I had gotten some time to spend with you in person. And hopefully I will in the future, as the plan, according to my sources, say we are going to be entering into some level of a hybrid model shortly. The overreaching theme to this class is one that I'm not sure came through, and I think it does come through better in person, and to some degree it's recycled from other classes that I teach. So forgive me if this spiel is something that you've heard before, but I believe it's one that is incredibly valuable. Primitive skills is about so much more than just some party tricks to show off. And for me, it's actually about a lifestyle and truly about paying homage to my elders, those that came before me. And I wish to pass that on to my students to some degree. But it doesn't have to be, this really kind of far out concept. It's actually really quite concrete. To me, the ultimate pinnacle of the human experience is the ability to live unchained, to live in a way in which you feel liberated or free. And as simplistic as that may seem, it may be very different for any number of individuals, but the freedom that I've found comes from options, from self-sufficiency, the ability to know that I can do for myself and I can do for those that I love. And yeah, there's no doubt that much of the modern world works against that. And that can be a source of major frustration for me. But in the end of the day, when I'm poised with a struggle of adversity, a problem, I have options and I have reasons, concrete reasons for the things that I do. And the way in which I go about broaching or addressing that adversity of those problems. I don't wake up in the morning and question, hey, what am I doing here? What am I doing today? I don't have time for that. There's always something to do, whether it's going to make meat, or going to harvest wild blackberries, or tend my own garden, or build my own smokehouse. There's always something to do. In a cash-based economy or a credit-based economy, the idea is that we hoard as much for ourselves so that we can kind of throw our pennies at others so that they can do things for us. And I think that leads to a loss of self and perhaps a loss of purpose. And I guess lastly, I'm not sure it's even really possible, because in the end I think we get so easily caught in this rat race, and then we wake up and we don't know who we are, what we are, and why we're doing what we're doing. And I think there's a lot of people that are sad. So I guess in the end, I think that liberty or freedom comes from happiness, which comes from the ability to absorb knowledge that has purpose and that you can utilize in order to find solutions for yourself. So today I'm going to show you how to build a very simple tool from Fire. It's called a burnout bowl, a mortar and pestle really. And perhaps later on we'll be able to get into some tanning. I know the class is coming to an end, and as I said, most of you are pretty far behind on the course, and I will kind of be addressing that in a little bit as well. I haven't heard much about solos from you, but I'm hoping that all of that's going well. I'm just going to sneak behind the camera and make sure that it's still running. It is still running. So the key is that you take a small piece of round of wood. You don't need to have a saw. You don't even really need to have an axe, but it is definitely nice to be able to utilize those tools. And then you just take a piece of wood that is dry and dead, and you cut it in half. In this case, I've used popple. Here in my finished bowl, this is, I believe it's hemlock or spruce. I'm not really sure. And my popple is a little bit wet, although it's been seasoning since probably June of this year. And I am going to just take my jackknife, my Swiss Army knife, and I'm going to rough up the surface of that piece of wood. I don't think popple, aspen if you will, it's two types, Populus grandidentata, big tooth poplar, or Populus tremuloides, or small tooth poplar, or smoothleaf poplar, or trembling poplar. I don't think this is ideal, but it could make a really nice bowl in the end. But it's known to make some real acrid smoke. The mortar and pestle has so many different uses in the field, whether that be, just grinding a root or smashing a nut like an acorn that was later be processed into acorn flour. The pestle, the mortar itself is just a little carved piece of wood where I build a peen or a head on the end of it, and that just helps with my grinding here, like this. Makes a really nice gift, no kidding, for Christmas. I did it for many years and people were very appreciative of it. So I'm real rough that up here with the jackknife. So I think that the mere idea behind kind of grading has led to this attitude of compliance within education. And while I do know that we need to have some form of which we assess students, I think that what I really wanted to do in this class was build a environment where I didn't necessarily need to assess you. You assessed yourself, and you were learning because of your own desire, and that you saw the pertinence within the class. And I think I may have missed the boat with that a little, because I think that's really hard to do remotely. But I guess it's my hope that some of this philosophy does actually leak through, because in the end, in my assessments, I can see whether it's passion or whether it's a default to a learned behavior where we put as little effort in as possible to do the bare minimum, so that in this idea that the grass is greener on the other side, and that someday when we jump through enough hoops, things are going to be okay, and we're going to have those pennies to throw at others to do for us, and we won't have to worry about anything anymore. And the thing is, I think that allows for the human spirit to shrivel, to shrink, to dry out. And that's not what I want for you. So once I have a roughed up center, I'm going to grab a coal from my fire, and I'm going to pick it up here. I'm going to put it right on my piece of wood and hold it with another piece of wood, and I'm going to blow on it. Take your time, don't hyperventilate. Make sure you're doing this in a safe area, backyard fire pit or a grill, or a fireplace outside, fire ring outside. Pretty soon, my cherry ember here is actually going to catch on the piece of wood, and I won't even need the coal anymore. I'm going to just check and see that we're still running. I'm going to stop it, folks, and start again, or start so I know I don't lose it.